All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is the Friday Night at the Fights or Monday Night at the Fight special. I'm Keith Creed here with middleweight champion Chris Weidman. How's it going, Chris?
Going well, thank you.
How you feeling this morning?
Tired. I just came back from Chicago yesterday. I was in Atlantic City before that, so traveling, and I'm here nice and early with you guys.
All right, lifestyle of a champ.
Yes,
so
sir.
I just want to get into it real quick. As we mentioned before, you know, I saw you fought Uriah Hall. Everyone knows Uriah Hall now.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, he was the darling of New York City. You beat him.
I was a darling of Long Island, though. I just wanted to put that
there
in
you go. You were the darling of Long Island. He was the darling of New York City.
Yeah.
And when you beat him, the consensus was, oh, Uriah Hall had a bad day. Now, we have Anderson Silva. You beat him in the first fight. They say he's playing around. You beat him again in the second fight. It's, a freak accident. How do you feel that sometimes the general public and the press, they look at your performance and they don't give you the proper credit to which I feel you deserve?
You know, it's gonna be one of those things. Like, you're always gonna have doubters, no matter what. You're always gonna have that people support you. But after these two fights, it's easier for me to deal with the doubters because I was in the cage with Anderson Silva now for 4 rounds straight, and I could tell you, I'm a better fighter, 100%. I knew I wasn't losing that fight, and I didn't lose the fight. I just said I was going to finish him twice. I finished him twice. I agree that it wasn't I mean, the first fight is I knocked him out when he was doing the torn thing, which he does all the time. So that's a fluke out of nowhere, but that shouldn't be considered a fluke. The next one is crazy. You know, like check his leg kick, and it breaks his leg. It's not the way I would want to finish a fight at all. You know, my first fight I wanted to knock him out, but this one I didn't want to break his leg. So it's a little different scenario after the second one, but.
Well, you know what? One of the things that I noticed looking back at the first fight, Anderson usually likes to gauge the rhythm of his opponent, and then from there he'll throw a counter, he'll slip, or give him an odd angle to throw him off balance, and then he begins to mount his offense. He didn't catch your timing in the first fight, nor did he catch your timing in the second fight. And I think that may have been the reason for him to play around a little bit, to throw you off a little bit, play possum. What did you work on in training camp in terms of staying active and mounting your strategy to throw him off his game?
Yeah, I think one thing that some people forget is that I'm the first person that he's ever actually fought with long arms in him too. I think the range kind of throws him off, where he actually has to step in a little bit to hit me. Usually he could stay at his range and pick people apart. And when he steps in like that, he has to worry about takedowns and then worry about getting knocked out, especially after the first fight. He knows I have power at that point. So I think there was a lot of things that he had to worry about, where for me, I'm moving forward, and I felt like I was the one who was able to, you know, really establish what I want to do, whether I want to take him down or punch him, kick him. He didn't know what was coming. You know, he had to worry about a lot of things.
Yeah, you definitely put him under tremendous pressure. Even, you know, on the walkout for the second fight, it took him a little bit longer to get to the cage than it normally does.
I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah, what was going through your mind at that moment?
I was still like, you know, they bring us both out, I guess, and I stand and wait for him to go out and stuff like that, and I'm just standing there warming, like trying to stay warm, and I'm like, oh, this is wild. But I always kind of expect that with Anderson. I know he does usually have long walkouts, but this one was long. I know it was actually really bothering my cornerman after they were telling me. They're like, what? He's trying to mess with us right now. Like, but I don't think like that. I just like, I don't know, maybe I don't know what's going on, but I'm just chilling and warming up, and so it didn't get in my head or anything like that. But I was just like, yeah, it's long. I noticed it.
So was there a transition in terms of like your confidence level from going into the first fight, then obviously going into the second fight? You know, we have some of the fighters that come in, they say when they're the champion, it enhances everything you do to another level. You know, if you're at 100% as a challenger, you're at 110% as a champion. Now that you're the actual champion, how do you feel, you know, when you walk the streets, when you meet people, when you go practice, when you go train? Like, is there just an air of confidence that's elevated?
I don't know. I want there to be, but I don't know. I think it's just the same on me. I don't know. I feel like nothing really changed too much with that. Like, my coach was just the other day, we're training, he's like, do you realize you're the world champion? Like, I don't know. I think I might have to just get a posse and start walking around with 10 people to feel like I'm the world champion, you know? So I don't know.
Yeah, because I see you don't even have the belt with you today.
Oh, yeah, I can't do it. It's 30 pounds. I can't carry that around. Unless I'll make that little weasel over there carry it.
So, I mean, we were talking before. I said, listen, if I was the world champion, I mean, I'm mowing the lawn with the belt on. I'm washing the dishes with the belt on. But you're more of a modest and a humble guy. And I think that, you know, in sports today, the climate of sports, a guy like you, say in the 80s and 90s, you'd be on a Wheaties box right now. But it seems that the sports atmosphere tends to draw towards the trash talkers and the guys that are more bravado than skills. So how do you feel about the sports climate in general, especially within your profession?
I think I kind of agree with you. Look at Sherman. The other day he said a little something afterwards. Now everybody's going crazy about him on the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Couple of things. Then you see him. I mean, it's almost like he's calculated with it. Then you see him on the Fox thing afterwards, or was it on Fox?
Yeah,
whatever, with Strahan and everything like that. Then he's like, wow, that dude, yeah, he did graduate from Stanford. That's a smart guy. So I feel like he's calculating everything. He's a smart guy. I don't know. I agree with you, but I'm going to just be myself. I don't think I'm that smart where I could just switch up my personalities to do it. I can't do it. I'm just going to go out there and keep winning. And I think the more respect I start getting, I think after this next fight, I think I'll open people's eyes. And then all that type of stuff, the Wheatie boxes and all that stuff, I think I could open up a new era for guys like me.
Understood. Speaking of the next fight, you're going against Vitor Belfort. And right now, some people would say that when Anderson lost to you, you broke the heart of the fans of Brazil. And should you defeat Vitor, you'll break their spirit because Vitor is a legendary figure. But as legends go, they get old and sometimes their skills kind of deplete in value. But there's a situation with the TUE exemption. How do you feel as a competitor, a younger guy, going against an older competitor, that this may come into play and it can be another talking point as opposed to you being the champ going into the fight?
Yeah, I don't like TRT. I think it doesn't belong in combat sports. I have no problem, after I'm done fighting, someone taking TRT or me taking TRT, I think it's cool. Do what you want. But during fighting, when strength and energy is so important, and especially along with experience, those are some of the most important things. And then, so when you start getting more experience, and now you're able to have the testosterone, the energy of a younger guy, which is going to elevate everything. It's just when does it stop? So I don't agree with it. And I don't have the highest testosterone. I wrestled my whole life. Put my body through hell since I've been third grade, I've been killing myself all year round. So my body depletes, but I'm world champion. I don't take anything, and I'm never gonna take anything.
Another reason you need to be on the Wheaties box.
Yeah.
But I want the fans to get an opportunity to know a little bit more about you because you're very laid back, you're very cool. Like, what do you do in your off time? Like, what are some of the hobbies and the things that you and your buddy over here, partake in, like when you're just relaxing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always trying to find some new hobbies. My wife bought me airsoft guns. I want to go airsoft gunning, maybe start paintballing. But I play video games, even though I haven't had that much time lately. Play video games. I like watching football on Sundays. I don't know. I don't know. I was going to say something, and then I forgot.
All right, well, who you got for the big game coming up?
Broncos.
Mm-hmm. Why?
It's Peyton Manning's time. I just think too many weapons on offense, man. I just think I think they can run. Like people forgetting, they can run the ball too. They got a sick offensive line. They got sick tight ends. Their wide receivers. It's just honestly, it's ridiculous. Peyton Manning is a beast. I think he's the best quarterback of all time, and I think he's gonna pick them apart. Like my little weasel friend over there said yesterday, we were talking about it. He doesn't have his name. His name's Randall. 3rd and 7s. I mean, those out routes that Kaepernick can't make, he's making. Like they're not stopping him. Like 3rd downs, completely different things. Like
you're right. He's.
I agree. Secondary Seahawks are ridiculous, but they've never seen this many weapons. The weapons are ridiculous.
Kind of like your opponents. I mean, you're good on the feet. You're great on the ground. You fight off your back. You have an insight on every strategy of the fight game in your particular trade. Who do you think wins the main event this weekend in Jersey at, what is it, 169, right? At UFC 169.
Wait, who's the main event?
It's Faber and Barao, right? Faber and Barao, and then after that, it's the co-main event is
Aldo and Lamas.
Lamas, yeah. Who are your picks for that?
It's crazy. Uriah Faber, like there'll be fights I watch. I'm like, yeah, he's done. He's past his prime, And then all of a sudden, this guy goes on a tear. I'm like, it looks better than ever. So it's hard to pick against him, but Hennon Brower, he beat him, and I can't remember what the first fight looked like, but I know he beat him. I'm going with Hennon Brow to win the fight. And then with the Aldo Lamas, Aldo is an absolute beast. I love watching him fight. I do hear a lot of inside info on this guy Lamas. Like I've actually never even watched Lamas fight once in my life, and I love watching fighting. And what I hear is that this dude is a serious beast. Like,
indeed,
people think that he's going to kill Aldo. I'm like, I was not kill him, you know, really,
no,
but you know what I mean, just pick him apart, like destroy him, embarrass him. I'm like, and dead serious saying that. I'm like, are you serious? How good is this guy? So I'm interested to see. I'm just actually interested to see how good this guy Lamas is.
Okay, well, you'll be cage side for the fight, correct?
Yes, I better be.
You should be, right?
Those nosebleeds.
Yep, we'll be cage side as well. We'd like to thank our guest Chris Weidman here today with our special Monday at the fights. I'm Champ Creed, and we will get to you in 2 and 2.
All right, here we go.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.